Hello, everybody. I'm Mike from the Rewatch Project podcast, and I am a lifelong Star Trek and Star Wars fan. Watching classic Doctor Who for the first time. I've reached the second part of the Aztec serial, which I hear is a bit of a goodie. I know next to nothing about this beyond that, being the novice in the ways of Doctor Who and being very appreciative of all of the kind words and helpful bits of historical and cultural context that people have been sharing with me in the comments page on YouTube. So please do continue to do that. Also want to mention that today I just found out that William Russell, who plays the character of Ian, has died. This is kind of crazy, really, because he was 99 years old. And I actually asked in, I think, a very recent episode whether many of the cast were still alive. Obviously, this was made in the early 60s, and I was just wondering whether they were still with us. And somebody mentioned that William was, but he was getting up there in years. So, yeah, what a great run. And I'd like to dedicate this episode to him. I am getting to these episodes for the first time. You know, I'd never really seen any of his work until this, and he really is great. And I think it's just good to know that, you know, he's got that legacy and that people like me who don't know the show will come to it, you know, as it becomes increasingly available on streaming and through other platforms. So his work will live on. So, you know, condolences to his family, but also I would like to doff my cap in respect to a really fun, talented actor whose work I'm enjoying and will continue to enjoy from here on. So let's get into it. Great face.
No, this is not Yetaxa. This is a false goddess. I will destroy her.
That's got to be the episode thumbnail for this. This is an early contender for the episode thumbnail for this video podcast. Spoken like a true warrior of death.
Brian, what's that man being sacrificed?
Do you think we felt any differently?
No, of course not.
Yeah, this is good sci-fi, moral quandary kind of stuff, isn't it? You know, you can see the humanistic view and perspective of Barbara, but you know, arguably it's pretty naive. You know, you've got to think about the consequences of these things, as the Doctor is.
Why not leave her alone?
Oh, go away. Leave me alone.
I'm sorry, my dear.
It's good to see the actors really going for it.
So harsh with you.
No. You
However,
have every right.
what's done is done, and now it's up to you what happens next.
Play them off against each
Yes,
other?
the more the Toxel doubt you, the more you must convince Ortlock that you are Yetaxa.
I mean, good on Hartnell. I mean, you've got these names, you've got complexity, and you know, there are tongue twisters in here, but he's getting through it. And Jacqueline Hill's doing some pretty good work here as well, it's got to be said.
Exactly.
What about you and Ian?
Oh, well, Ian can look after himself, and I think I shall know more about the entrance to the tomb tonight.
You're an old rogue.
Yes, but really it's up to you, Barbara.
By the signs of their divinity.
And what if thieves walk among the gods?
She was the history teacher, wasn't she? I think I'm getting that the right way around. I mean, that's going to be useful, I'd imagine.
Then indeed.
I love that she's kind of standing up to him here as well. You know, she's playing it with quite a lot of confidence. Barbara's kind of sexy in this episode, is what I'm getting at here.
This is all I need.
To win a victory with your thumb needs magic.
To know your enemy's weakness isn't magic, it's common sense. Be surprised.
Stick up his bum.
Oh, I won't kill you this time.
Nobody expects that. Oh, it's Mr. Spocking him. Gosh, Barbara's using history, he's using science. I tell you, being a school teacher, it equips you for travel through time and space.
Prowess and bravery of Ixta. Now there are that.
Ixta's trying to act through the feathers that are brushing against his face. He's a little stirrer, isn't he? Joking aside, great costume design in this episode, really creative.
What leaf is this?
It's from a herb. The sap is used by our medicine men to...
See, what the Doctor understands is the way to a woman's heart is through questions. Show an interest, ask a lot of questions. I mean, it helps that he needs information for his mission, but he's Playing it very well here.
You sleep, but the leaves are harmless.
Yes, for instance, the tomb is... The tomb is sealed. Now, surely the builder had some way of opening it. And that's something I'm sure yours will never be.
Your heart is young, true doctor.
Good him say, yeah, still got it. I mean, the impression I've always got is that Doctor Who fans don't like it when there's any kind of hint of romance with the Doctor. Is that true? I don't know if that's just a thing, or as an outsider to the fandom, that's something that I've always heard. Be curious to know the perspective of you gentle listeners.
Warriors.
And tell my servants that they may not enter here.
They shall be told.
She's really good in this episode. It's nice when you get to see actors deployed in a different way.
Well, then he's to be my future husband.
You'll be told.
Told? I'm not going to be told who to marry.
What say have you in the matter?
What's my life?
The 60s social upheaval and, you know, the post-Beatles rock and roll teenager youth movement speaking here.
With whom I choose, not someone picked out for me.
My opponent has been selected. I know his name and I fear defeat.
And what weapons do you use?
Only my hands. My strength lies in the use of...
Don't help him, Doc.
Really, indeed, yes.
Oh dear, bit of a unintentional conflict of interest going on here. Oh no, is he going to like show him how to drug him or something?
Does the High Priest scorn my attempts to be worthy of command?
It's not as catchy as does a bear shit in the woods, is it?
If you wish it, he shall die.
He looks like he wishes it. He's a evil, swarthy fella. It's good seeing Barbara being proactive as well and kind of working autonomously on her wits.
You won't forget the drawings,
I shall be here after sunset.
Whoops. Just replace one problem with another.
He has transgressed the law.
Sir, I will not have you...
Do you wish him confined or taken to the
Pull
barracks?
out his
Take him to the barracks.
I demand to be released. Take your hands up, sir. How dare you? How dare you?
Pretty physically spry, isn't he, old Hartnell, jumping around like that?
Transgressed the law.
He did not know it.
This kind of one-on-one ceremonial combat is a great mainstay of science fiction, isn't it? You know, we'll see it famously in Amok Time, in Star Trek, and you know, even in literature. You know, in Dune, you know, Paul fighting Feyd-Rautha. We're getting all the genre hits here. Go on, do your thumb thing. That move.
Here, don't let him scratch you. What?
Bloody Doctor. Great music. It's like the Planet of the Apes score from Jerry Goldsmith. Come on, Ian. You can do it, buddy. You live to be 99, for God's sake. Oh, that's a good move. There's your arm. Oh, what are you going to do? The Bride of Sacrifice. This is a really fun story. It's really pacey. All the guest characters are interesting and have a lot of energy. Everybody's really committing as well. You know, we're getting to see, you know, Ian's bringing a lot of physicality to the episode. And the scene between the Doctor and Barbara, where they're really kind of, you know, hashing out the prime directive of it all, is really great. And it's nice to see Barbara actually having to kind of, you know, think on her feet a little bit and take control. And I really like the setting. I really like the environment. The storytelling's very clear. The visual elements of it work. The design's really great. And I just get the feeling that everybody is really into it. You know, like they know the material's good and they're stepping up. So yeah, really enjoying this. And what a great episode to watch. to celebrate and commemorate William Russell and all of his great work. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that very soon in the next episode, The Bride of Sacrifice, the third part of the Aztecs serial. So again, I appreciate feedback or comments or behind the scenes educational bits and pieces from the Whovians out there on the YouTube page. Just leave comments or email rewatchprojectpodcast@gmail.com. And check out the Rewatch Project podcast as well. So I'll be back very soon with The Bride of Sacrifice.